Hey guys, welcome to Muscle Memory. My name's Malcolm. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. He's taking on AJ Francis at GCW Look At Me in Tampa, Florida, and he recently just sold out Spring Break 8. Is Joey Janela. How are you, man?
What's up, Muscle Daddy?
Oh man, thank you. How's your day going?
It's going good. It's cold here in Jersey. Where are you in Baltimore?
I'm in DC, close.
DC, close, close. I know it's cold over there too. So you're dealing with the same shit I'm dealing with.
Unfortunately, yes. Too much snow. It's not the best time to be alive, but it is what it is, for the winter. But man, you have some big matches coming up. We have to go ahead and just talk about that. It's straight up because you're taking on AJ Francis at GCW Look at Me. I'm currently wearing his shirt. He's a friend of the show. He attacked you at GCW Holiday. He didn't have the kindest words to say about you. Looks like he's trying to use you as a gateway into independent wrestling, into wrestling outside the WWE. What's your message to that guy?
I think he picked the right guy at the wrong moment. You know what I'm saying? That month wasn't a good month for me. I'm still dealing with an eye infection. I could still barely see. But at that time, it was really bad, and I pulled everything out of me to go wrestle Marcus Mathers at GCW on that show because I know how much he wanted that match, and he picked the wrong time, and you want to use me as a gateway, like a lot of other wrestlers, like a lot of wrestlers in the past, like a lot of wrestlers on the come up, use me to further themselves in independent wrestling and further their careers and get more bookings. Um, and I've known AJ for a long time, all the way back in the days of the Sausage Castle, me going over there and partying and watching some unfathomable stuff that a human should probably witness in his life. But we had some good times, and in Tampa, it's either step up to the plate or I heard Jimmy Seafood is hiring, so he better learn how to cook, or he better know how to wash dishes, because if this doesn't go well, who knows? He's got to deal with TNA right now, and I don't know where that's going. They're calling him the Cheez It champion of the world. I don't know what the hell that means, but Mr. Cheez Its has to come wrestle Joey Janela on his home turf at GCW.
I am fully aware of the Sausage Castle. I've been there once with HA, and
Oh
interesting
shit!
to say the least. Say the least.
Yeah,
Interesting
you know
place.
the deal.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
I'm sure you saw some titties.
Hey, what we saw is what we saw. Speaking again about AJ, uh, speaking about AJ, I mean, obviously he's now going to TNA right now, and I feel like a lot of like guys when they come out of WWE or come out of these like big companies, they try to go through the GCW route because it's such a big platform. Do you see like yourself as like that guy, to like bring in these dudes from like the TV companies into the independent wrestling scene?
I'm one of the guys. You know, um, Cardona kind of, that was just the lighting in the bottle right there. That was an idea from John Carlo to bring Matt Cardona in and do something with Nick Gage, and he was kind of he's right now he's kind of the what do they call that, the model of
Yeah.
what to do. Um, if you're on that level, if you're in the WWE, if you've done WrestleMania, if you've done these big shows and you want to make money on the independents, if you want to make a full-fledged living on the independents, make what you were making, if not more, on the independents than you were in the WWE or in AEW. That's the guy right there. And I'm definitely one of the guys. Like, if you want to come to GCW, that's the number one indie right now in the world. So if you want to come, and you know, I'm gonna fucking kill myself to make you look good. If you want to be there and you want to make us look good, if you want to make GCW look good, I've been there since day one. I'm the only guy in the company that's been there since the initial show. So um, it means a lot for me for these guys to come, and I always thank them for coming into GCW and you know helping us, look like a legitimate promotion, not what some of these people call an outlaw macho garbage wrestling promotion, which we're not. But it's cool to have that perception. We do go by the last outlaws. We do enjoy those those compliments from those people. But if AJ wants to come in, he's gonna have to throw down. He's gonna have to do this the GCW style. You know, he's only been around for a few years. He hasn't been around long. So, you know, you're walking into my domain. You're walking into our domain. So come in, show out, and you know, prove everyone wrong. You know, maybe you can hit a dive over the top rope this time.
Oof, oof, fighting words for sure. I know there's a lot of independent wrestlers like they're working up to the point they want to work
I'll
for
catch you. I'll
GCW.
catch you, brother.
You'll catch
Don't
him?
worry, I'll catch you.
That's a
I
big
catch
boy. I don't
everyone.
know. That's a
Gringo
big
Loco calls
guy.
me one of the Gringo Loco calls me one of the best faces that's not Gringo Loco. So believe me, if you got me stunned on the outside and you want to take the plunge and if you want to jump over that top rope, brother, hey, if you make it, I'll catch your ass.
I'm excited to see that happen during the match. Hopefully we see that spot. There's a lot of independent wrestlers that are trying to work their way up to get to a GCW level because that is, again, like you said, the number one independent wrestling company in the world right now. If there's an independent wrestler watching this and like they want to work up to the point where they can be booked on GCW, what's like your advice for them?
I'd say show up first. Um and get up to Brett or message Brett and ask him what they could do. If GCW is in your city or in your state or driving vicinity, if you know someone that's on a GCW show that's established and you're on the come up, jump in the car with them. Ask if you jump in the car with them. Get with Brett. Ask him what you can do to help him out on show day. It's stressful. This is an independent wrestling company, but on a high scale. You know, there's a lot to be done on show day. He's doing it basically all by himself with the small crew. That's how Cora Jade got booked in GCW. She showed up at a Chicago show and asked what she hit me up. What can she do? And she went up to Brett and she helped broke down and did her thing. Look at her now. You know, she only had a couple of matches in GCW, but that's like, you know, that's the heart and soul we want to see in an independent wrestler that wants to be a part of GCW, that wants to be a part of the independence, that wants to make it to the next level. You know, just come in and you know, you got to deliver in the ring, of course, too. You can't be the drizzling shits. But if you are the drizzling shits, hey, we might find a spot for you anyway, because wrestling's all different shapes and sizes and different types of people and different types of wrestlers, and there's always a spot for you. This is not the NFL. This is a circus. This is a freak show. That's what professional wrestling is. It's a carnival business, and certainly, if you have some type of charisma, if you have something to offer, we'll find a spot.
Definitely. And even some of the shows that are going on WrestleMania weekend, your show sold out very quickly. I believe like a day and a half, or I could be wrong with the metric.
12 hours. 12
How long?
12
Oh,
hours.
that's impressive. Super impressive. In
It's the
12 hours,
first one
sell
in
out a whole
years.
show.
The first one in years that we sold out that fast. Spring Break 3, coming off Spring Break 2, that was the fastest sellout. And that was a smaller building that was at the Jersey City. But that sold out in like 45 minutes.
Jesus.
But it's been a while since we had a sellout like in under a day. And there's still a second show available at the Clusterfuck, which is the wacky Spring Break show. This year is going to be wacky as hell. So there's only a few tickets left for that. So get that. So we're looking at a double sellout.
Amazing. What kind of surprises can we expect going into those shows, if you can reveal anything?
Man, we really haven't even booked this yet, but things are starting to come together now. There's things starting to fall on our plate. Brett is hitting me up saying we can get this person, we can get this girl, and I'm like, yes, absolutely, because I know these. I'm on the internet 24/7. If I'm not sleeping, if I'm drunk, if I'm half blind, if I'm in a comatose state where my back is nearly broken from the weekend before, I'm looking at social media, I'm looking at Twitter, I'm looking at Instagram, I'm looking at Facebook. I know what fans want to see. I know who fans want to see, and I know what type of wrestling the fans in 2024 enjoy to see. So I'm sure it'll be a great show.
Amazing. There's been a lot of like legends on the card. If you could like take one stab at one legend being on in GCW at some point, maybe during spring break, who could it be? You said Ahmed Johnson before, and that didn't happen. So I'm
Ahmed Johnson's a good one, but of course, he's not going to be able to go in the ring. But there's a lot of guys that I wish I could have got that are retired now. The Muda we almost had, and the Jushin Ligers of the world. And it's just it's unfortunate they're retired, but I wish I could have had Terry Funk on the show.
yeah,
But you know, wrestling's always revolving. It's always evolving, and you know, some guys want to come back into the fold, and they usually hit me up first. So they know the deal by now. But this year is going to be no different. There's going to be legends of the show. There's going to be up and comers. There's going to be some of the biggest stars from Japan, internationally on this show, on both of these shows. So, but night one is going to be more of the. It's going to be wacky this year. I think we're going to take it back to the spring break roots because last year was a little bit different and more revolved around the return of Kota Ibushi, which was a big deal for everyone, for the wrestling industry. And now I think this year we go back to the roots. Look at spring break 1, spring break 2, spring break 3. You're going to get a little bit of all the flavors of ice cream. And, I'm Cold Stone and I got them all. So let's go.
what do you make of the current GCW World Champion Blake Christian, and do you see yourself going after his title?
I want to go after his title. I think he's a big pussy, actually. Um, I think Blake Christian, he's not taking it seriously. Every challenger I see Blake Christian wrestle is someone that's either not a viable title contender or someone like a Nunzio. And I have all respect in the world for Nunzio Little Guido, but is that a championship match? People are complaining about the Jinder Hook situation, but Blake Christian is the ultimate, I think, bitch, and he hasn't had someone of the caliber of a Joey Janela challenge him for that championship belt. And I've had a lot of opportunities at the GCW belt, and I've never been able to accomplish that. But if the opportunity opens and the contract unfolds, then you're going to see something. You might see a new GCW champion.
Definitely. Looking at your independent career, even your time in like AEW, you faced Cody Rhodes a few times. In your opinion, what's the difference between working with Cody Rhodes on the independent scene versus him in AEW?
Well, when Cody Rhodes came off the WWE, he came out with that list, all the guys who wanted to wrestle. And there was a lot of guys that weren't on the list that had crazy buzz at that time, and I was one of them. So it kind of fell in my lap. They said, Cody Rhodes wants to wrestle you. I said, oh, really? I said, and our match was a little bit crazy. Our first match, I believe, was at WrestlePro. I believe you can find that on YouTube somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. But we did a match on TV during COVID, which is when I'd like to forget that whole era. But we did one on the Jericho Cruise that was like a 30-minute wrestling match that was really great. And Cody's just a hard worker, and that's why he's in the position he's in right now. It's not because his last name. It's because he's all hard work, and he's hard work and a little bit of a politician, but but either way, he's one of the hardest working guys in the world of wrestling. So kudos to him. I know he likes me deep down inside, despite unfollowing me on everything because he hates my social media presence.
Oh, Jesus.
He doesn't hate me as a person; he just hates me as a social media character.
Gotcha.
Maybe
Okay.
he hates me as a person. I don't know. That's something you might have to ask him.
I will gladly make sure to ask him as soon as I get a chance to talk to him. Joey, I saw a headline saying that you wanted to join WWE when you're 36 years old. Is that still the mission?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do. I'm 34 now, so we still have a little bit. There's still goals. I have New Japan as a goal. I have Tokyo Dome as a goal. Who knows? For 18 years in the business right now, I'm in pretty good condition, and I know I can always be in better better condition, which it comes in cycles. But hey, if WWE wants to give me a chance, I'm sure we can make that happen. And I'm a lot smarter now than I was a few years ago, and a lot more mature. So we could definitely, do something there. I believe with their creative and my creative, and we could mesh the minds together and see what happens. It could be a complete disaster. Who knows? But that's always been the goal. That's always been the dream. When I was a kid, there was no AEW, so that was something that just fell in my lap. And I appreciate Tony for taking care of me during COVID, taking care of me during my knee injury, and signing me to that deal. But that was never the goal. That was never the dream. WWE was always the dream. So besides New Japan and Tokyo Dome and whatnot and all the deathmatch stuff I've done, I've accomplished basically every single one of my goals. Besides WWE, besides a New Japan run. So who knows what's gonna happen the next couple of years. But I like the independent wrestling scene too much, and it would be sad to step away if that opportunity does come. So
What do you think of Joey Janela in the WWE would look like? Because obviously, maybe some of the stuff that you do would probably have to maybe be pushed away a little bit.
I don't know, man. That's when the time comes, we'll see what happens. But I might have to delete all my social media history. But there's ways they can work around it, and I'm smart enough, I'm creative enough, and that we can make something happen. The problem with AEW was that there was no fucking direction at all. It was dog eat dog world, and at the beginning of my time there, I absolutely killed it. But there's so many hungry people, and there's so many people that know how to, put things into words to Tony and whatnot, and to the higher heads that, you go with that, you don't go with this, or you look at this guy's social media and what he's saying and how he's acting, and then you're like, you know what, maybe we cool him off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wish I went not completely. I had the matches with Omega, Moxley, pay-per-view main events, and just smoked it. And people talk about those matches every day. I just wish I had a little bit more. I wish I went it. I wish I went about it a different way, and pitched more stuff, and worried more about creatively where people were gonna be looking at me on television for the first time, and how my body looked, and taking that a little bit more seriously. But I don't regret anything, and I wouldn't go back and change anything, to be honest.
Is there like any possibility of you joining like a television show in the next coming years, or have you ever been in contact with anyone since leaving AEW?
There's been people hit me up, but I told them I'm not interested at the moment. Because I want to do indie. GCW is more important to me than a lot of this stuff, and it was sometimes painful to be in an AEW locker room sometimes, to be watching a GCW show or something in the locker room like a weirdo. Like, fuck, I missed this, but it didn't last long. As soon as I realized I could still do independence, I started doing them again. So, but then COVID happened, and that was a whole different situation. So,
Yeah. But even looking at like say your career right now, are you happy like with what you're doing in GCW? And if someone hasn't watched Joey Janela before, what can they expect going forward?
oh man, they can expect a whole lot of different stuff. I've seen a lot of fans at shows. They said, "Well, we were only familiar with your AEW stuff, or we only heard about you through Jim Cornette bashing you on the internet." And man, you're a different animal in this environment, and you're very fun to watch. You're definitely a showman. You're definitely enjoyable, and I've changed my perspective on who you were in AEW, or what people said about you, and that always means a lot. There's people that have said, "Listen, I only found out about you through Jim Cornette," and now they're buying Joey Janela. t-shirts every time they come see me. So, you know, expect something different. If you don't know who I am, if you don't know what I'm about, come to an indie show. I've been on fire the last 2 years. I can't say I've had a bad match. Or, 75% people watching wouldn't say it was bad. If you say it's bad, you're in some kind of echo chamber because I've been on fire. I've been wrestling pros. I've been wrestling anyone from 3 foot tall men to Andrade to Kota Ibushi, doing death matches in Japan with Jun Kasai, to doing, silly comedy stuff with Yoshiko or something, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm a different animal on indies. I have fun. I have my creative control over everything I do, every little thing. And from merchandise to the way I go about my social media to my wrestling matches, I have complete creative control. So that's where I'm happy.
Amazing. Joey, you've been very generous with your time. I greatly appreciate it. Where can I find you on social media if they're not already following you?
The bad boy Joey Janela on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm shadow banned at the moment. I don't know why.
I did notice
Uh,
that actually.
I
Yeah,
never posted my penis on there, so I don't know. I have any clue.
no idea.
So I don't know. So if you go to Twitter, you'd have to go to type in Janela baby, and then just click the thing, the little link, and my social media will appear. It won't appear like that. For some reason, no one can tag me or find me. It's pretty fucked up. I don't know why. Like I said, I never posted my penis on there. I do follow a lot of porn stars, and
That could be it. That might be the reason.
yeah, it might be that. I might, I'm a horny boy.
Hey,
Can I
it be what it be. Joey, thank you so much for your time. Guys, my name is Malcolm. This is Muscle Memory, and we're out.
be a muscle daddy?